chatting.
We're
We've
going.
got no sense
We're
of direction
live.
today.
Wait, what?
No sense of direction.
Absolutely not.
This
But,
is
the funny
sit
thing
down
is,
and talk with a drink.
sit down and chill. Yeah, cold ones. Not to be copyrighted. Anyway, I was thinking on the way over, on my way home actually, a topic that we could start discussing about, and I think about it all the time because, you know how I told you about the kid that I met at the ball field.
Oh, that silly friggin' kid. Yeah.
Doug's
Yeah.
girlfriend's son.
Yep.
Great young man, by the way. Absolutely hilarious. I think he's definitely smart. Like he's smart. But the kid asked me if I knew what galaxy gas was.
He did not ask you that.
He asked.
Have you seen that one guy with the galaxy gas on Instagram?
Dude, I've been seeing. But the funny thing is, since he asked me that, all I've been seeing on like Instagram, X,
It's galaxy gas, isn't it?
Is people doing whippets, man.
It's crazy.
And I'm sitting here.
It's atrocious. It's gross. How is it? Pretty good, or should you shook it more?
I should have shook a little more.
Really, eh? Can you tell the difference, though?
Oh, yeah. Want to try?
No, I'm okay, thank you. I'll try through you, but I'm not trying. What are we giving it? What are we giving it? 7 out of 10.
Well, there's not that much of a head on the beer, but like 6, 7.
Okay, 6.5. We'll call it half.
6.5.
In the
Those
medium.
Guinness are probably like, they've been in there for a month.
I knew. Oh, they've been sitting there for a while.
They've been sitting in the fridge for a bit. But nice and cold anyway.
Perfect occasion to start drinking a Guinness, hey?
I got another one in there. But
yes, Galaxy Gas.
He was asking me about Galaxy Gas.
As a 13-year-old.
As a 13-year-old, asking me if I knew
Boy,
what
if my
Galaxy
kid
Gas
said what
was.
Galaxy Gas, you know what I was doing at 13? Actually, I was probably doing a bit more than I was.
I was smoking weed at 13.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that, but I was definitely doing some other things.
I was having the cops knocking on my door.
Yeah,
when
I
was
guess.
13.
It's funny because you think a 13-year-old as you get a bit older is innocent. Like, I thought I was innocent at 13. Now I'm looking back and going, there's no chance.
Well, no, I look at myself. Yeah, I guess it's weird to see. It's weird to look as 20. Like I'll be 23 next weekend. It's weird as a 23-year-old to look down, not look down, but like look at this generation of teenagers that are just coming into it, and it's like, holy cow, man. What a difference in the mentality.
Well, yeah, but were we viewed as that way? We must have been viewed as that.
I definitely wasn't. Well, I think they expected me to be that way, but I just wasn't, because we were doing like grown-up stuff when we were in junior high, like stuff that most people do in college.
Small town stuff.
Small town stuff.
What else are you gonna do?
What else are you gonna do?
Go home.
Literally, it's either. Well, that's what I explain it to people. When you're in a small community like that, especially a rural community, you're either gonna be busy doing stuff you shouldn't be doing, having fun with your buddies, or you're bored and you're doing nothing and you're doing the right thing.
How bad is that light when you look at me? Is it bad? Can you notice it? Okay, good.
I didn't notice it until you pointed it out, to be honest. But
hey, how you doing there, light? Well, what is he gonna do?
Well,
go home.
Honestly,
go hang out with your parents as a 13-year-old.
I wish that. I'm glad that I see more 13-year-olds being innocent. He's the other example because he knows a lot of stuff. But he reminds me of like when we were 13.
Well, okay. I feel like though, yes, but I was gonna say, because I gotta bring this up. If I don't, I won't get to it. They're exposed to a lot more. The reason I'm going to say this is because at 13, Instagram was just coming to be.
Yeah,
Facebook was just.
All social media when we were his age were like just starting to get into like the advanced stage.
But you had to go searching.
Yeah, you had to search.
TikTok is feeding your algorithm full of stuff. There's no wonder that because of Galaxy Gas was.
There was no algorithm on Instagram back then because you only saw people.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, only people.
Nate Shot.
Yeah.
Banks,
Phase Adapt, Phase Rain, like only the people that you followed and only the content.
Yeah, there wasn't anything recommended. There was no recommendation.
There was no stuff being filtered into your algorithm. They weren't making major amounts of money off interactions and clicks and ads and all this stuff. So like 10 years ago, there was no. You had to go looking. You had to go. You had to go looking. You had to search for it.
There was no innocence back then.
No, there wasn't.
That's the thing. Like he's innocent because he stumbled upon it.
Exactly.
If you've said,
he heard it by proxy.
We go back 13 years. Instagram first started. Let's put it in weed terms. If we knew what we like. Sorry, not weed, but let's go back. Let's say we're 10 years old.
That's another topic I wanted to speak about.
10 years old and we found out what weed was. We had to go looking for it. Unless we were pre-exposed to bad influences, we had to go looking for it.
That's right. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works.
What are you doing 13 know about Galaxy Gas? I mean, I only learned about whippets when I was like 16, 17. They said,
oh yeah, I didn't know.
The people on the reserves are taking whippets. I said, What the frig is a whippet?
What the hell is a whippet?
I got no idea what a whippet is.
No, I had to search it up when I first heard what these kids are doing whippets. I'm like, what?
Boy,
Whippet,
you
like,
boys need to chill out.
What? Like, is that a BMX trick? Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Is that the new scooter trick?
Meanwhile, these kids are huffing N2O.
Scooter or skateboard?
Oh, skateboard.
Yeah, I agree.
Skateboard, 100%.
BMX or skateboard?
That's tough.
That is tough.
That's tough.
BMX for me.
I would say BMX
Oh.
only because I can ride bikes a lot better than I can skateboard, even though I'm a pretty good snowboarder.
Okay, now this is coming back because we were just got done playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Yeah, true. That's
Skate 3. That's a throwback. Skate 3. What do you know about Skate 3 at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night?
I know everything about Skate 3
Oh
at 3
my
a.m. in the middle of the
goodness.
night. Dude, we were literally, if I went into the group chat right now on Instagram, there's literally like 5, we were just talking about Skate 3.
No, you weren't.
I swear to God, like yesterday, the day before.
You want to hear something? I'm a big believer in synchronicities. Have you ever heard that term? Carl Jung synchronicities. You say something and then it happens. You know what I mean?
It's
Like
kinda
you
like
bring
the butterfly effect.
Yeah. So my dad's mother, his sister, and one of the sister's sons were kicked out of their house. So the owner wanted to do renovations. They got kicked out of the house doing the renovations. Renoviction. Thank you very much. Couldn't find a place. Didn't hear anything about them wanting a place. I said to my dad last night at supper, I said, did your parents find a place? He gets a call from an unknown number. Doesn't answer it. He goes, I don't know that number. He looks at the voicemail. I kid you not. She goes, hey, Lawrence, it's your sister Andrea. We just found a place. Like, I literally said, has your mother found a place? Not within 2 minutes, a minute, there was a call on the phone.
Damn.
From a phone number he doesn't even know, and it was his sister.
Damn.
He said, I'm not picking that up. I don't know who that is.
And then looks at the message. It's like,
Oh,
oh,
I was looking at him going, didn't we were just talking about that?
That's crazy, dude. Yeah, that is kind of, to be truthful with you, I noticed that, but I didn't know that's what it was called.
Called the synchronicity.
Synchronicity.
Carl Jung termed it.
You want to know what else is kind of boggling my mind on the topic of drugs? Yeah.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa. No, but in all honesty, like kids, we'll say like they're innocent. They still have their innocence because they stumbled across the stuff by being on social media platforms. Whereas we had to go actively searching for it. Like, but not only that, you know, when I know you weren't into this at this age, but like when I was like, the first time, sorry, Mom and Dad, if you're watching this, the first time
You're going to air it out? Are we airing it out? Are you comfortable airing it out?
I don't care. The first time I ever smoked weed was when I was 12.
What grade is that, 6?
It was the summer of
6 to
the
7.
summer before grade 7.
Yeah, okay. 6 to 7.
The first time I ever smoked weed was like the summer before grade 7, and that was like pretty much the only time that was the first time, the last time I smoked it until grade 8. And then I was smoking weed all the time. It was like at 13 years old, dude. I was so bad. Looking back,
You were that much of a pothead at 13?
Dude.
Bro.
Bad.
Bro, really?
Well, not so much of a pothead, but like anytime I was around it, I wasn't saying no.
Hey, you're an active user.
I was an active user.
Yeah, but that's what you get in small town because you end up hanging around with people who are a couple years older.
No,
wasn't your 13-year-old friends giving you weed, was it?
Well, we would buy weed from the 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like seniors.
Now let me ask, did you know?
Well, our junior high was a 7 to 12.
How well did your parents know the 17-year-old's parents?
No, they didn't know them at all.
What?
Well, they knew them. They knew, but they didn't know I was with
okay.
them. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, if you guys watch these videos.
Oh, listen, let's be honest. What were they doing at that age?
They weren't doing that. No, I know that people aren't innocent, but like being involved with like drugs and alcohol at 13 years old, hanging out with like 17, 18, 19-year-olds, that's a bit much.
I wouldn't put it past my dad.
Well, no, but maybe, I don't know, maybe Dad did that too. I don't know, but you know, I look back on it, and at the time I didn't see a big issue with it, obviously.
No, I felt like an adult at 13.
Oh man, I felt like, but I always acted so much older than my age too, which is why I could hang out with these people, because they didn't think I was weird. I didn't act like a normal 13-year-old. I wasn't immature. I wasn't innocent. Like,
yeah, you weren't 13.
I wasn't 13 in my mind, but
It's refreshing to talk to someone who's a bit older than they actually are.
that is true. That is very true. But where I was going with this conversation, when I was 13, that was all that I did.
Drugs.
No. Just, yeah, that's all I did. No, it lasted about a month until we got caught at school.
Oh.
And that's a long story. I won't go into that. But like the thought of doing anything worse than weed at 13 years old.
Oh yeah.
And like
I see where you're
the
going.
availability of doing anything worse than weed, not even only at 13 years old. I mean, when I was in senior high, like the most you ever see. This is a small town, mind you. In the city, I'm sure it was probably different. But
No.
even in my experience, I will say this: nobody in my like high school days, we'll say, was out there doing blow. Was out there, doing Molly. Like there was a very select few people that did like shrooms and maybe the occasional MDMA, like moon rock or something like that, like straight up ecstasy. But like doing anything worse, like opiates, like cocaine, crack, heroin, meth, like those amphetamines, like hard drugs. Like I look at recreational drugs as like weed, shrooms, and if you're brazen enough, I would say Molly's a recreational drug, only because of the purpose of the drug, but it's very dangerous because it can be cut with really nasty stuff.
Oh, fentanyl, man.
How
often does that happen?
That's why I want to say like Molly isn't so much of a recreational drug, but the only purpose of Molly is for recreational use, you know what I mean? But there's dangers that come with getting Molly.
There's a lot of fentanyl going around.
There is a lot of fentanyl floating around. But where I was going with this, I just want to get this out before I start rambling on, is that, unfortunately, like I've done worse than that. And it wasn't until I stepped into the realm of, being around people that are using harder drugs. Yeah. It then opened my eyes to how many people actually used hard drugs.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you see yourself in him?
Who?
What's his name?
Owen?
Yeah. Do you see yourself in him?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No. Because if he was anything like me, he wouldn't have ever said anything about it. He wouldn't have been at the ball field. He would have been hanging out with his friends in the middle of the woods smoking a friggin' joint. Like that's what I was doing at
You
his
guys are
age.
joints over bongs.
Oh, we smoked joints 24/7. Yeah. The first time ever, it was a homemade Gatorade bottle. Me and Devin, rest in peace, Devin. It was a Gatorade bottle, and we took a pen, cut the pen in half, took tin foil, made it took it the long way, folded it, stuffed it inside
it's so ghetto, man.
We made a bowl and a tin foil out of the pen, and it was like a popper tube.
That's got to be everybody's first try.
Oh, dude, it has to be.
It has to be. Or an apple.
That was my first
apple.
time. I smoked out of an apple, and then we graduated to the Gatorade bong.
Oh my! See, so it goes apple, Gatorade bong. What else are you missing in this conversation?
We went to a small pipe.
Oh, you guys went to a pipe. You guys graduated to a
small
pipe.
pipe, yeah, and then.
Holy.
And then what do we do after that?
Oh, like the little one hitters, like the little.
No, not the one hitter, like an actual pipe with a choke on it and stuff. But it was only about yay long.
Yeah,
It was glass. It was blown like.
Wow, you guys graduated pretty quick.
Yep.
I feel like I was doing one of those, the apple or the one hitter, for longer because I was afraid
I never tried the one hitters. I never liked them.
No, they're not that good.
I just went bigger, went home.
I attribute my lung deficiency, even though it's not that bad anymore, to smoking out of one hitters or not cleaning your gear.
Yeah.
When that guy pulls the nasty bong out of his bag and says,
dude.
"Take a rip,"
Here,
I said, "Boy, you better
this, bro."
clean your friggin' bong." I didn't like bongs, but
I love bongs.
too high for me.
You don't like it?
Way
intense?
too high.
You get way too cracked?
Way too high.
I will say, like, in comparison to everything else, it is the most intense. Like,
Yeah.
especially if you don't smoke a lot of weed, like your tolerance is very
When
low.
you're doing the old phase in and out.
Oh yeah,
in the
you're like
rooms.
going, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
I don't
or
like that.
You're going like this. You're just trying to grip onto the earth. Like,
That's why I like my life sober, man. I got no unexpectancies.
I guess, yeah, but coming from where I'm coming from, it's like. I also noticed this too. Is that I'm very comfortable being fucked up.
Yeah, and it feels comfortable to be effed up, so it's like.
Oh.
No. You can swear all you want. I don't care. Oh, you should have heard the conversation I had on TikTok Live yesterday with these kids.
Yeah, you sent me the video, bro.
Oh yeah, you were. Yeah, you did. I did call you. I forgot about that.
I swear to God, I was sitting in that chair and I was going.
So funny, man. When he said, "Can't catch me, fatty."
You can't catch me, fatty. Dude, kids are ruthless. How old do you think they were?
No, I knew how old one of them was.
Oh, you knew them?
No. He was in my chat, and he was telling me that he plays football. He's 6'1", 230 at 14.
At 14,
Yeah,
dog.
he plays grade 12 football in grade 9. Dude's a unit, like a absolute freak of nature. And he gets on the call. How you doing? I said, boy, your voice is deeper than mine. You better slow down here. They're getting advanced, man.
Yeah, bro.
You're 6'1" at 14 at
I
our
don't know what
age?
they're feeding these kids, man.
No,
I didn't
that's
get
what I
no
asked
good
him.
genetics.
I said, where's your mom feeding you? I want some of it. He goes, oh, to be honest, I feed myself. Fair enough, I guess.
He didn't even get the joke.
Imagine being oh no, he didn't. Imagine being 6'1" at 14.
Bro.
Brother, you would have been a genetically modified human in 2013.
You'd have been
if you
a
were
freak of
6'1".
nature.
No one was that. No one was that
Is it
size.
just me, or is it like very, very, very common for people to just be tall?
Oh yeah.
Like when I was, 14, 15, there was nobody over like 5'8". Like if you were 5'8" in grade like 9,
Oh, you were tall.
like giant, bro.
You were
like,
tall.
Nobody was tall, and like the tall people
Yeah.
were like 5'10", and then in senior high they were like 6'2".
Well, that's it.
But like now you get 14, 15-year-olds that is it just me or all the teenagers these days looking like they're 20?
Well, Wilson was. Oh yeah, Wilson looked older than he was.
Yeah.
And Wilson was tall as frig.
Yeah.
You want to hear something? Brianna's brother went from 5'9", between 5'7" and 5'9", to 6'3", 6'4" in a summer.
In the summer, dude.
Yes. That's half the reason he tore his ACL.
That I would
But
say.
yeah, that's a jump.
Why can't I wish I was taller.
No, you don't.
I wish I was a little.
Somebody else
taller.
wishes they had your job. We're not getting into this wish conversation. You got more strengths and gifts than somebody else.
That is true.
Come on, hype yourself up a tiny bit. Tell the camera what you got going on right now. Give yourself a pat on the back real quick.
Well,
My brother's got money and a relationship to God.
that is true. That is true. Yeah.
Because how many people can say that?
No, to be honest, truthfully, these days, nobody. Well, I don't want to say nobody. It's very, very, very small amount of people. Like even when I keep going back to when I was in school. Like even like in elementary school, junior high, it was common for us to talk about religion.
I was in a Christian school.
You were in a Christian
Catholic
school?
school.
You really?
Yes.
You're Catholic?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
All the schools in Mississauga, most of them, if you went to a public school,
Yeah.
it was you were uniformed. You had to wear a uniform in public school.
Really?
Yeah, but if you went to a Catholic school, you could wear whatever you want.
What?
Yeah, most
Isn't
schools.
that
You're telling me, ain't nobody want to go to a public school then? They said they'll put you in a uniform. I said no, thank you. All the schools were Catholic schools. All Saints Catholic school. Yeah, you alright?
Yeah.
Not the best flavor.
No,
Don't drink it.
It might be skunky.
But yeah,
That's like Sean the other day cracked a beer. He goes "Ugh," and starts gagging. I'm like, what's going on?
Is he gags? Does it make Lex gag?
I don't think Lex is as bad. Sean's
Okay.
the worst. If someone pukes around Sean,
He's done?
Oh, he's done. You might as well make room for him too. He's
Gross.
coming.
But Catholics.
Pause. Anyway,
All the schools in Ontario, most of them are Catholic.
yeah, I did. That's crazy.
It's great though.
That is great.
You're raised on traditional great values.
Well, see,
You have prayer class. You go to church for
there's like a church class.
no, there ain't a church class. It's
A church class.
field day. What is it called?
Field trip.
Thank you. You go to church for like a field trip.
Oh, really?
Yes, I swear.
Like every day or on?
No, every like couple weeks they're like we're going to mass.
Damn.
Pretty neat. Looking back on it, that'd be good.
You want to know the sad thing about all that is that I don't think the way. I shouldn't say I don't think because I truly believe we can, but it saddens me to see how little God is in everyone's life, or maybe it's so much that
Maybe it's the lack of awareness.
lack of awareness, or
Yeah.
maybe it's that people just
Yeah.
don't want to share it.
Well, you know what I heard? Were we talking about this? Maybe we were, that you shouldn't be baptized as a baby. Were we talking about that?
Because I talk about it quite often.
That it should really be make the choice because it's
correct
coming.
me if I'm wrong, but is it not in the Bible that says baptism should be up to the choice?
Don't know enough to quote the Bible.
I heard.
I wish I could.
I know. I heard this somewhere, and then I looked into it. It was online, a podcast. It was either Cliff. I can't remember his last name.
I know who it is, but I don't know what his last name is.
in
Yeah, yeah,
Mexico that does all the
Yep.
reels.
Street
about
preaching.
Street preaching.
Yep.
Someone asked him about baptism or something, and he goes, like, I was baptized as a baby, but in my opinion, I don't think, in the way that I heard it explained,
It definitely
on the
was
video,
Cliff.
It's not supposed to be something that you force the child to do, like, because Jesus wants you to come to Him,
Right.
and it should
Yeah, it
be on
definitely
your
was
own
Cliff.
accord to come and get baptized. And like when I have kids, if I have kids, hopefully I do. I'm not gonna have them baptized at birth.
Do you want to hear something? So I was listening to an audiobook. I try to maximize my time. If I'm at work, I'll listen to an audiobook.
Well, that's smart.
And it was talking, it was talking about a certain archetype. And the archetype was whatever.
Two-way shop building.
No, but this is what he was saying. He was saying that men who have went through stuff and have seek therapy after they want a kid. And
Really?
it's like their mindset changes and they want a baby. Something with the giving birth and being the newborn. It's like, and I was listening to it, I'm like, oh, I might know somebody who said that. Like, I know you said you wanted a kid before, but like it's been
Well, I was against kids.
yeah,
Like a year and a half
But after
ago.
seeking that help, now you want a kid.
Yeah.
And he told me that, and I was like, dude, what the frig is going on?
Yeah, me.
I wish I remembered the archetype.
It's crazy. It's
oh
crazy,
my
man.
goodness.
Yeah, it was like right after I split up with my last girlfriend. What?
I get through it. I gotta ask you a question after. Get
You
through
can
it.
ask me first.
Someone said, clothing brand son or lipstick brand daughter.
Wait, what?
You know, like G son or T daughter.
Yeah,
It's like, do you want a clothing brand son or do you want a lipstick brand daughter, makeup brand daughter?
clothing brand son. I don't understand.
Because it's
what you
almost
mean.
like every guy creates a clothing brand. Like, get your money up, hustle up, and then like women like to create makeup brands. What would you rather? It's like kind of like the G Sun.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just a deeper
No,
meaning.
no.
It's literally
What
exactly
would you rather? Makeup brand daughter or clothing brand son? Like the cliche clothing brand, get to the money, hustle every day.
That's a good question.
It's a good question, isn't it? Hey, listen, someone
I-
said as long as they're getting to the bread, I don't care.
Well,
Or working on themselves, I guess.
I have a lot of internal thoughts going on right now. I want to say makeup brand daughter.
Really, over at clothing brand son?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the only reason I say that is because not that having a clothing brand isn't necessarily like meaningful. It's not impactful to the world in any
Right.
sort of way. Not saying that.
See, now we could argue the fact that makeup isn't impactful because you're teaching women to be someone they're not.
But well, yes.
Oh.
But all right. But see, the thing is, I give a lot more forgiveness to females. Not forgiveness, but they have a lot more slack in this world, in my opinion.
Okay.
In my opinion, in my view, like I don't expect them to be going out and fighting a good fight every single day. They have bigger things to worry about, especially mothers. Like you have to worry about looking after your own household, raising your own children. And I'm assuming if you're home raising the children, you're probably home looking after your husband while he's not home either.
Yeah, probably.
Like assuming everyone in my world, the way I grew up, traditional
Yeah.
home, it's man and wife. The man looks after all the finances. The woman the man provides the home. The woman makes it the home.
Who did the cooking in your house?
Mostly mom.
Yeah.
Pretty
your
much.
dad can throw down a bit.
Oh, dad can definitely cook.
Who
but-
manned the grill?
Oh, dad. There's no unless dad wasn't home.
Yeah, then your
Mom.
mother would.
But like, cause mom's a great cook. And
Here's a good question for you before you keep going. You look back on your life. You're in Shea Harbor, 10, 12, 13 years old. Your mother's cooking a meal. It's the last meal you ever eat. What meal you taking from your mother?
stir fry.
Oof.
Mom makes
With
it.
the little sesame seed on top?
I have to say, every time mom would make, like when I was younger, I'd be picky and I'd only
Yeah.
eat the steak and rice.
Oh yeah, there was rice with the stir fry. If you have stir fry without rice, something's wrong with
It's
you.
not stir fry, bro.
Something's wrong with you.
Unless it's like like noodles of some sort.
That's like ham with no cheese.
ham with no cheese.
I'm gonna take a ham sub. I'm gonna take a ham sub.
Cheese. I'd be like,
You crazy son
get
of a
out
gun.
here, dog. Now I forget what I was saying.
You're talking about your mother cooking food and
Oh, no, I was talking about like the why I would not want my son to be the clothing brand.
oh yeah.
Because the way. Why do I feel so nervous saying this? I don't understand why.
If you don't want to say it, don't say it.
But I want to say it. I just don't know why I have an urge, not like a nervous, maybe I
Feeling?
shouldn't say this. But but I don't care. What I don't care. I'm going to speak my mind. The way I view males and females is so much that at the end of the day, like we were talking about last time, like the reason why male discourse stays so civil or like kept to a certain tone is because of that imminent knowledge that if we both get out of line and start disrespecting each other, chances are we're going to start
We're going to
fighting.
scrap, right?
We're gonna scrap.
There's a fight inevitably.
And at the end of the day, the only people, and this is literally written in the history books, just look at history, the only people who got what they wanted were the people who won the wars. And not saying that every battle has to come to
Look
that.
at the gorillas.
Yeah,
Strongest one has all the women.
exactly. And the way that I view things is not saying that women can't get things done, but I'm saying women shouldn't have to get things done.
Right.
That you don't have to do that.
Right. There's not an inclination to.
No. But when I look at a man, I expect him to make a meaningful impact on his life, the people around him, and his community's life. That is, in my opinion, that's the sole purpose of being a man, is to, one, look after yourself.
It's not a bad take.
Two, look after your wife and well, personally, wife and kids come before me. It's wife and kids, then me, and then community.
Where's God?
Well, okay, sorry. God, wife and kids.
I was
then
just
me,
curious
and
as
then
to where
the
you were
community.
going to put him. I was just curious.
Well, see, I just didn't want to throw it in there.
Yeah.
To me, God's first always, but that's the order of things in my mind. That someday if I do have a wife and kids, that's the way it's going to be. Their happiness and their needs will always come before mine. Because I would much rather. I don't care if I'm a little bit miserable. I care if
You'll get over it.
I'll get over it. Life sucks, dude.
You've already lived 23 years. Why can't you live another 48?
Exactly. Like, what's the difference? Like life isn't always fun, but the people I care about, especially the people I care about most, i.e., exemplary, children and wife. I would do anything under the sun to make sure that they have whatever they wanted. That means literally doing whatever the hell it took to give them whatever they wanted. I would scrape garbage off the street if it paid the bills. Like, if that's all I could do, I would do it. Like, you know what I mean? But I would never expect a female to have to do that. Nor would I want them to.
Have you ever heard this quote? What punishment of gods are not gift? What punishment of gods are not gifts?
I don't think you can say. No, there isn't a punishment.
That is not a gift. It's all a gift.
Everything's a gift.
Every punishment is a gift.
Because every punishment is a lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't give you that lesson to learn if you didn't know you needed it, which i.e. would be a gift. And the funny thing is, I notice you stay in those lessons you stay in those punishments longer until you learn the lesson.
Well, Andrew Tate says you can learn it the hard way or the harder way.
Yeah.
Most men learn it the harder way.
Harder way, yeah.
But sometimes that's what you need.
Yep.
Here's a question. I seen this beautiful Instagram account. He goes around and asks people, what gives you confidence? What gives you confidence?
Ooh, God.
It's a good answer. That's what Kyrie Irving said.
Hey,
I like Kyrie.
Man, people painted such a bad picture on him.
Who are you taking, Kyrie or Steph?
I have to take Steph.
That's a good choice.
But to be honest, though, it would depend on the team. It would depend on who's playing two ball, who's playing small forward, power forward, and center. It would depend on what kind of dynamic I had. Because if I had a lot of heavy ball dominant players already that I would be trying to pass the rock to get them to drop it in the basket, I would probably take Kyrie.
Really, eh?
Not saying that Kyrie is a better playmaker, but his versatility with the ball handling.
I think Kyrie's a better
spaces
playmaker.
The floor so much better.
I think he's a better
opinion.
playmaker, 100%.
If you don't have ball dominant, if you had two bigs like your two front courts, and all they were doing was grabbing boards, Steph is on the court.
Now I gotta ask you this question: you ever see that video, Anthony Davis, or Tim Duncan?
AD or Tim Duncan? Timmy D.
Thank you.
Timmy D.
Have you seen that video of crashing out about that?
Who's Shannon Sharp?
No. Oh my goodness, man. This guy was crashing out because.
Sorry, bro. You just got booted off
seen
ESPN.
that. Oh my goodness.
You saw that stuff. Right?
Did I ever see that?
My.
Someone said he was just trying to do it to not face the allegations anymore.
What are the allegations?
They were saying that they don't know what, if he's G or not. Yeah, they kept saying that.
Why would they even say that?
Who knows? It's the internet. They got something to say. Don't drink it, man.
Take my diet. Tim Duncan. Like, it doesn't even have to be prime. I would take Tim Duncan's worst year. Well, maybe not that far, but I would take Tim Duncan's probably like 13th year in the league over AD's prime.
Yeah, I mean the brow. He had his moments.
I mean, I'm not saying Anthony Davis isn't an amazing player, but Tim, don't you just, bro?
Okay, you get one opportunity to play in any sports league. What?
Pro?
Yeah.
What sports league am I gonna play in?
Yeah. Out of all of them, professional dodgeball can't even be in that category.
I would play professional soccer.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking that in my head.
It's either that or professional basketball.
I think basketball would be fun.
Basketball would be fun. Basketball would be more fun if I could dunk.
F1?
Oh, I forgot about that. Ooh. But see, I don't classify that as a sport.
Okay, would you classify cheerleading as a sport?
No.
Would you classify F1 as a sport?
No.
I would. How many G's are they pulling?
Yeah, but...
Is it more mental endurance? What would you classify it as? It's not an endurance sport?
It's I just think motorsports are something completely different.
Right.
Like, I put them in a class of their own. Like, anything that involves assistance by either, i.e. electric or ice-powered machines, is in a completely different class of their own. I call sports anything that you do with only your physical body and maybe a tool. But anything that's like motorized or has like, anything that involves using a tool, well, I guess I call bobsledding. Like anything that's non-motorized is a sport, and anything that is motorized is in a class of its own. It is still a sport, but it's motorsports.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, so maybe we couldn't call it a sport. We could have it say sport attributes. Because the G-forces they're pulling and the brake force that they have to apply to those things.
If you blink, that's 20 meters of darkness.
Yeah, that's
traveling down the road.
That's crazy.
60, that's what, 72 feet?
That's ridiculous.
Something like that. Imagine, bink, 70 feet gone.
Yeah,
that could be the difference between you going around the turn, you hitting the wall. Like I read online that they only blink on straightaways.
Really?
Yep. Because if they blink around turns, they go off the turn. Because they're traveling so fast that it's like by the time like the half a second or whatever it takes to blink, like traveling at that rate of speed is about like almost 60 feet of distance.
What do you think about tennis? I
think tennis. Have you ever played tennis?
It's hard.
It's hard.
It is.
Everyone thinks it's not bad. And
it's hard.
You want to know what is another eye-opening sport that many people
don't dare say pickleball.
No.
Oh.
Badminton.
Badminton's a good one. Brianna says she smoked me. I said you're out of your mind.
I would smoke you.
Who, me?
Yeah. Did you play badminton?
Oh, but you're not getting into this conversation. You would not smoke me.
Did you play badminton in high school?
Yes.
You played badminton too? What did you play?
Once.
You played singles?
Yes.
Okay, I played doubles.
Yeah, see that with you and who?
Me and Gavin.
Oh.
Shout out Gavin. Gavin was my doubles G partner, man. We fucking...
Is Gavin who we want to talk to next week?
No,
or whenever?
That's Dustin.
Dustin.
Yeah.
Dustin's a neat name.
Yeah, he's a G. Goddamn G. He's been through it.
Dude, I saw a clip, since we're done with the topic of Dustin. This woman, I don't know what her issue, the deal, it's not an issue, that's rude of me, what her case was. She lost both her arms and both her legs. I started off, I was on Instagram. I sinned because this poor lady couldn't ring the bell of her leaving the hospital. They rung the bell for her. Someone said, why didn't she ring the bell herself, or why didn't she clap? Because everybody was clapping for her. I was like, somebody did not just comment that right now. Like,
what is she gonna do?
I was like, I'm envisioning her putting it in her mouth or whatever. I don't know. What's she gonna do? She's gotta ring the bell. But anyways, come to find out, and I did pray for forgiveness because it wasn't very nice of me, but it was funny at the time. I'm sorry.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Please. That she lost both of her arms and her legs. There's a photo on Instagram, and one of her whole arms is completely black and inflamed. And like, she's still a mom for her kids, and I'm thinking, golly, like imagine, like you could see in her face when she left the hospital, nothing there.
Nothing.
Like she had arms and legs. She's married. Her husband's still with her, thankfully. She's got some support, and she's got 2 kids. But imagine having feeble arms and legs and waking up one day. Not waking up one day, but
and then coming to
2 months later,
realizing
you have nothing. She's literally torso, shoulders, like here, like nothing.
If that happened to me, I would literally just say, take me off.
That's what a lot of the comments were saying.
Take me off this earth. And to be completely truthful with you, I could live with being a paraplegic. If I ever get in an accident, I become quadriplegic, this is on video, you have permission to
pull it.
pull the plug. But at the same time, I'd be mentally competent. I don't know if MAID would be a thing or if that's even an option. But if I ever become to a state where I'm in a coma and I can't consent for myself, take me off. If I don't wake up in a reasonable amount of time, God doesn't want me to wake up. It's my time to go.
Yeah.